Hey guys, so welcome to my first ever real talk about league mentality. The reason behind this video is last Friday I did a 11-hour-and-a-half stream, and midway through, not midway, we're almost at the end of the stream. I had a game where the teammates were standard League of Legends teammates, is what I'm trying to get at. And I don't think it's healthy. Every single time we play the game, we tell ourselves that it's a dice roll. We may get good teammates, we may get horrible teammates. So when we get good teammates, we win the game. And then when we get horrible teammates, we FF15, we dodge the queue when we get weird picks. And we just do everything we can just to minimize our losses or altogether dodge away from all those horrible experiences. And I don't think that's healthy. I think it's just that we're trying so hard to climb, which is fair. We play the game to win, right? But how much is too much? How much of your trying to win is too much? And this is why I think I'm going to start this series as a way to review, reflect, and think and talk about what's happening in League of Legends community and why we should stop it or improve some other things, right? So today's topic is going to be talking about those toxic players, and I don't mean people who are picking troll picks or people who are doing obnoxious things or people who are playing badly. Like, those things aren't considered toxic. Toxic means your attitude doesn't benefit your teammate, nor does it benefit the enemy, nor does it benefit the standard of the game, nor does it benefit yourself. That's the toxic. That's the toxic that I want to talk about today, because there's just been so often that people treat every negative experiences as toxic, and that's not the case. People can have bad games, people want to try out new compositions, people want to do so much with the game, and I think as the game itself, you can't stop anyone from doing these things. That's why newer builds happen. That's why the tank Senna, which is Grass of Undying Senna, which for you guys that don't know, is popular right now. People stress test different things to make some things work out. I'm a huge preacher to bringing weird supports into the bottom lane. I play Kayn support. I started this entire streaming career, a League of Legends content creator, as an Ashe support. I was well known, kind of well known among my own community, that I was that Azrael support guy. I don't think these picks are wrong. If you look back on the 11-hour stream, there was a singular game where I had a Teemo top lane, and that Teemo carried the game. He carried the entire damn game. And again, this is what I want to reinforce. Picks, plays, like, these aren't the things that are toxic. What are toxic is the people's attitude when they go into a game. They have that mentality that they have to do well. They're not doing well. Their teammate is horrible. And that's just so wrong to do so. You can't go walking down the street, you go sit down and eat at a coffee shop or you eat at a restaurant. The things that are brought out to you are horrible, and then you say that this thing is horrible, the chef is horrible, you should quit your job and quit on your damn life. Like, you don't do that thing. You go there, you eat, and you're like everybody. You say that that's not good for you, you walk away from it, and then you never go back to that place, which is completely fine. You don't need to badmouth it, right? You just eat, you don't like it, you leave, you never go back there again. Or option two, you criticize it. You talk to the waiter. You tell the waiter that, hey, can I talk to the chef? I feel like this dish is quite salty, and maybe this dish is not that tasty. I don't know what's wrong with it. I just don't think it's tasty. Like, you can say that stuff, right? It's constructive criticism. But when people in League of Legends play the game, they don't do either of these things. They have a bad game, they don't walk away from it, they choose to fight. What are you fighting for? I have no idea, but you choose to fight, and I am just mind blown about this fact. And Now, the other thing, right, giving constructive criticism, it doesn't mean that you tell your teammate that, hey, you're fucking bad, stop feeding. That's not enough. That's not constructive criticism. You're just telling your teammate what to do and you expect him to do well by saying a single sentence. That's not how constructive criticism works. And I feel like we, the Southeast Asia region, take everything way too seriously and take everything way too wrong. I can go into a game and say that was a bad fight, and one of my teammates will say, hey, you're fucking toxic, thank you, Riot System, for having the mute system, I'm muting you. Or he just say, hey, how about you, you're 082, huh, why are you so bad? Dude, I'm the support, what do you expect me to do? Like, what do you expect me, the support, to do when the best I can offer is being a tank or waiting for my items to come in as a utility support to give my ADC some sorts of defense? I mean, 082, I know it's a bad score, but is that really something that you're just going to use to pin against me? No, like I played my laning phase, the enemy jungle game, there's just so much variables that could happen, and what happened has happened. I'm in a horrible position and I'm doing my best to help the team win, and all you're going to say that you're 082 and you should quit the game. No, that's not how constructive criticism works. Constructive criticism is, hey, you're falling behind, how about you take a moment to not die and farm the side lanes. If the enemy comes to you, you walk away. If you don't get vision, you walk away even further, right? That's how things should work out. Like, you don't just say bottom lane bad, that's why we lost, jungle difference, that's just very selfish of you, and you're just acting like a baby. You're putting on a tantrum and expecting that Riot or Garena magically gives you great teammates every single game and they carry you all the way to Challenger and all the way to Worlds. You don't expect that, right? Then why the fuck do you expect gold players to do that? Right? It's just really, really toxic to think about all these things, right? And that one particular game that sparked this conversation, like, I'm gonna give you some context, and that game really just woke me up. I wouldn't really say woke me up, it's just, it lit a fire in my heart. So I'm gonna give you guys a recap about that game. I'm not gonna do this for every single league mentality, but for this one I had a specific example. So I started off seeing a guy named Seraphine God in the queue during picks and bans, and I was like, oh my god, you're a Seraphine God, does that mean that we're getting a Seraphine ADC? He was like, you know, happy go. I mean, we're still in picks and bans, we were still being very happy, yay, why not, yay. He says like, if you want it, why not, right? And I was like, oh yeah, great, since you're going Seraphine AP, who do you want me to play? She says that, oh, you can play anything with a slow, and I was like, oh, who gets better slow? Ashe. Yeah, Ashe. Like, brain like dumb, like why you don't think of Ashe, right? So like we went to bot lane, yada yada, Seraphine on the AD carry, she's gonna take over the farm role, and then I'm going the support role where I do all the poking kind of role, right? And then we dominated the early game, like we did so well. I kept praising Seraphine, saying like, oh, we're so perfect for each other, we're doing so well in the bottom lane, like you can see it with the footage here. Oh, look at that kill, great, isn't it? Anyways, we're doing that, and then all of a sudden, like, mid is doing well as well, and then he commented on himself and says that, ha, I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. I mean, like, ha, good joke, dude. Like, ha, you're doing great. It's 2-0. You're wonderful. Like, keep it up. I didn't say anything like that, but like I was thinking it. I'm sorry I didn't say it out loud. Maybe that was the reason that you couldn't be a nicer asshole. But I don't know. But yeah, he was like that, and I was like, okay, our mentality is going great. We're having fun, and we're having a little bit of banter with the enemy. And then the enemy knew that I was streaming, but it didn't really matter. They didn't stream snipe me. That's a good thing. I love that. I love it about that. Even though I'm a preacher about I don't care about being stream sniped. It's great. It's great to know that there are people out there that sees that the enemy is streaming, but I'm not going to be that guy who just wants like a free win. So I'll go that far to cheat, right? So a little bit later into the game, me and Seraphine are still dominating bot lane, and then all of a sudden, I'm not too sure about what happened, but I think jungle ganked mid, and our mid lane started to fall behind, and he started saying, "You ruined my lane. How happy do you feel about that?" And then he started being a griefer. He's griefing a lot, and he's just crying on and on about like how mid is dead, like it's gone, like FF15, you know, like typical League of Legends style. I mean, like at that point, it's not really funs and giggles anymore, at least for the Akali. But for me, I feel like, I mean, it's just so often we can't do much, move on with the game. And then I saw that, okay, bot has some pressure right now, so I'll go help out mid lane. And I go to mid. I started dying a little bit. I was still joking around because I was like, we can't be separated, because as soon as we separate, I die. I mean, we're not as good, because that's what happened. Like, I went to mid, I got into a bad position against the enemy top laner, and then I died. And things started to snowball horribly from there. My mid laner just kept going on and on about how bad this game is. We lost, even though we still had so much advantage. I mean, like, we kept going on and on and on about it. And eventually, I snapped. I got so mad at the guy. I just straight up typed everything in all chat. They were still like, he was trying to get me to stop my stream, and I was like, no, fuck you, why would I didn't say that, but in my head, that was my mentality. But we continued the game, and at one point they just kept going on and on about a jungle gap, or was it support gap? I don't remember, but he was being very toxic. He wasn't being very helpful. He was saying FF15, FF20, everything. He was just going on and on about how he's at a disadvantage. That means that we should quit the game, which doesn't make sense. And at one point, I snapped, because this is reality. So Daxium, just pull out whatever I typed on that day and show it to everyone watching this video. Thank you. So yeah, I said that. So like, it's just really, really frustrating for me as a player to see that we're playing a game where it's based off mistakes. The mistake of an enemy, so we capitalize on it, and then we win the game based off the enemy's mistakes. And why are we as players trying so hard to scold our teammates at making mistakes instead of capitalizing on the enemy's mistakes? League of Legends is that kind of game. The enemy didn't want to go for the Drake, I'll take the Drake. And that's their mistake for not putting priority on the Drake. They played a fight for 3 versus 5 at the Dragon, and then they lost 2 for 3. And it was their mistake because they didn't play that lane well. They could have just let the objective go, right? It's just micromanaging and macro-managing everything on the map, and deciding that what is a correct play at this current moment for your team. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it is 100% correct play. Even when we're watching competitive play, you see players making mistakes. We saw Faker playing a game, and he flashed way too early. He got into such a bad position in between the enemy, and then he got caught out, and he made that mistake, and they had to apologize for it on camera for the fans to see it. It's a game of mistakes, and I just don't understand why are we as players are trying so hard to ruin our friends and our teammates. I wouldn't say friends, but more teammates, but yeah, you get the point. I wish that our mentality can improve. I wish that I can play 10 games in a row and nobody on the team is scolding each other. You can stay quiet, and you can just say, fuck, that was a bad play. I'm so frustrated at that bad play. And it's totally fine. Just don't go overboard. Don't insult a person just because they can't play the game to your imagination standard, however unrealistic it is. Let's play the game with a little bit of understanding and a little bit of kindness. and hopefully in the future we can have a game or even the world treating each other with a little bit more kindness. That's going to be it for this video. I wouldn't say it's a rant, but I feel like I want to get this message across to everyone playing League of Legends, even if you're out of even if you're not playing in my region. I wish that you're playing the game in the kinder sense, where you want to be nice to your friends or be nice to your teammates, because aren't those the games that are the most enjoyable, where when you're playing your solo queue game or your flex queue game, you and your teammates just click and everyone just have fun? Like, aren't those the most enjoyable moments that you can get? I'll be streaming later tonight at 9 p.m. sharp. We'll be doing this giveaway stream where every single good guy we meet will give a skin away. I really want to try to push for a day where our community will be able to love each other and show each other some forms of kindness when things get rough. That's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.